I'd like to welcome back the viewers of Torah Anytime and Yibinet to the Kavanah Mitzvos Foundation for our ongoing series, A Word for Your Shabbos Table, who doesn't want that, and a Mitzvah for Life. The Sefer HaParsha HaMachkima asks, I think, a great question, especially if you want to have Kavanah for mitzvahs. He asks, what kind of feelings should you have when you're doing a mitzvah? The answer we can find in this week's Parsha, in V'yakel. It talks about, by the way, it's Lamed Hey Chaf Beis. It talks about the women, men and women, bringing contributions to the Mishkan. The women brought their jewelry. Now there's a strange language. The Or HaChaim HaKadosh notices, it says, V'yavahu ha'anashim ala nashim. And the men came on the women. On the women, they brought, etc. It's a funny language. And he says, what is it talking about? They're bringing their jewelry. So the Rav Moshe says, the Or HaChaim HaKadosh says that they brought the jewelry on them. It was on the women, okay? Now, that means you have to picture this. The woman's wearing these beautiful earrings, etc. She walks all the way up, and then she's like taking it off and then handing it over to the Kohen. Now, Rav Moshe Feinstein says, well, why? You know, he's based on the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. He says, why is she doing that? Just take your jewelry off, put it in a bag, and hand it over. Why were they doing that? The answer is so beautiful. They wanted to show Hashem, my jewelry, it's not, oh, I have some extra jewelry, let me give it to the Mishkan. They loved their jewelry. They were attached. It was precious to them. It was so precious they wore it to the last minute. But you know what was more precious for them? The Mishkan. Hashem was more precious. That's what they did. Isn't that beautiful? This is the way we should do mitzvahs. If we're in touch with really the tension or the conflict, and then we say, nevertheless for you, Hashem, that's the way to do mitzvahs. This is a famous principle by Los Ases, which is, there's a midrash in Torah's Kahanim, famous. You're walking by a non-kosher restaurant. It smells great. And do you act like this? Oh, non-kosher food is disgusting. Absolutely not, says the midrash. You say, oh, that smells great. I would love that. But I love Hashem more, and therefore I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have the non-kosher food. This we see. By Los Ases, I would love to, but I can't. But also by positive commandments. If you're in touch with the part of you that might be surrendering something for Hashem, it means so much. This is what we're all about. Mitzvahs will not just be boxes to tick on your spiritual to-do list. Mitzvahs will be what they're meant to be, a relationship with Hashem, showing Him that you love Him, you're willing to sacrifice for Him. Now, this is great. I hope it inspired you, but I've mentioned this several times at the Kavanah Mitzvos Foundation. Mitzvahs do not occur in a vacuum. Meaning the Yetzer Hara is ready for you, number one, to forget this idea. That would be his ideal. But if you can't achieve that, you're going to forget to implement this. You're not going to know how to implement this. So we created another Kavanah tool. I say another Kavanah tool because to be present and conscious and acting with this relationship-based approach, the Yetzer Hara is going to try to undermine it, and you're going to have to innovate continuously. So I proudly, it's all you, Hashem, I proudly present ACE, A-C-E. As my Chaver Daniel Allen said, ACE La'asot L'Hashem, that's exactly what it is. ACE is a process you quickly go through to make sure you express the feelings that you really want to express to Hashem. So here, let's take the mitzvah of tzedakah, right? So first of all, the first step is A. What does A stand for? acknowledge. Most particularly, you want to recognize what's my natural desire in this situation other than the mitzvah that's before me. Okay? Let's take tzedakah. My natural desire is to spend money on me and keep it around. That's my natural desire. Now, I have a mitzvah tzedakah. Acknowledge how you feel about this mitzvah. Then C is choose. Decide deliberately, I'm doing this mitzvah because you want me to. There you go. I acknowledge I'd rather keep my money. That's A, acknowledge. C, I choose to do the mitzvah of tzedakah because as much as I want my money, I want a relationship. So I choose constantly l'kayim mitzvahs bori to do tzedakah. What's E? Express. If you just went through that beautiful process, express it to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? So what do? You say, look, Hashem, I'd like to keep my money. I'd like to use it for other things. But more than that, I want to make you happy. I want to do your will. I love you. And that's why I'm doing it. You hear? So you could ace every mitzvah like this. Acknowledge what you're feeling inside, where you might be making a sacrifice. C, choose the mitzvah. And then E, express it. This tool it's just been amazing. At KLM, with these tools, I keep saying, well, this is life-changing. It's constantly happening, thank God. So if you'd like a wonderful graphic of ACE, please contact me at rabbiwegbright@gmail.com.